We're getting there. This computer will ever turn on. I'm working here for we just today learned the faculty lounge. 3 o'clock. It was so hyped. So excited. We should be in there and get coffee. Very excited. Very excited. Probably if it's in the library. Kind of in the middle of where I am all the time, either over the ELD or over here. But, you know, not too far. Yeah, I just wore my t-shirt today. It's a little chilly t-shirt, but I had to wear the Flappy Master shirt again. I found it in my laundry pile. It's like, yes, meant to be. Right? 97? The student team who made it, one of the guys worked at Ryan, I forget the whole t-shirt printing shop. He just made it just for fun. Technically not allowed to. So I waited to accept it as a reflection. Maybe people shouldn't take it, but well, sure. Almost there. This just turned on. It just plugged into the ground. Like, it makes the printer rely on the computer. I haven't decided to turn it on button, but well, sure. All good. Got it. Sadly true. Sadly true. We're getting there. We get people in who like, oh, plenty of it having grown up in technology as adults. It can be hard. It is hard. We should give credit for learning and growing and changing it. I feel like it's their willingness to learn. Anyone can learn. I mean, if you're just like, I don't want to, I don't know. Yeah, that's fine. There's a 7-year-old guy at church who runs the prayer chain, and he like has an app now that he uses to do like a text phone out. Like he'll just massive text everybody. This guy can figure it out. Pretty sure we can learn how to click a couple buttons and turn our projector on. I'm sorry. We're getting there, so we can turn the projector on. I usually mute myself when like the loading screen's waiting here on OBS, but I forgot to unmute myself the other class. I had like 15 minutes to mute before like I noticed some of the chat was saying, hey, you didn't have enough things to chat. And then someone had the bright idea to unfollow and follow to trigger a sound alert. So I was like, oh, hey, there's a sound. There's a chat here. So, you know, how about we? We're almost there. All right. Sweet. Happy Thursday again. So tonight is the last official night of contents here. Let me pull up the syllabus. So I want to talk more about game programming. We didn't talk about images. I want to get images working, and I want to look at some of the other controls. So I don't know if you noticed in my demo, when I was running on an Xbox, there was no mouse cursor, which generally looks pretty weird on an Xbox app. So there's 2 lines of code you add to essentially disable that on Xbox, which if you want it, that's okay. I think one group said they want to do like a memory game with some other stuff. You probably want the mouse for that. Otherwise, all your buttons just show up in a certain tab order. So as you go left and right, up and down, you just navigate the buttons, which can sometimes be a little rough. So you have to like specify what the order is on those. You just got to be a little careful with those. All right, and now that we're done with all the individual projects here, and you notice I haven't graded them, I apologize. It's been a winter. I'm getting back to it. I'm focusing on the midterms first, but I wanted to put this out to you here as an offer, because really the final project is kind of the culmination of everything we've done. Is that what I'll propose, unless you object, is that I'll take your final project score, which will probably be 100%, and just give that to you for all the individual projects, if you turned it in. Is that reasonable? Because if you can do that one, all the other ones I'm sure you could do, right? And maybe something came up and you weren't able to finish it completely or whatever it was, or, I don't tell this ahead of time because I don't want people to skip one. Because the point of doing the projects is that you're practicing and putting in some of the work and hopefully learning some stuff. If you didn't learn anything from them, I apologize. I mean, then you probably wasted the whole time in the class. And I'm sorry that you were here and you knew it all already. Higher ed's a little weird sometimes when we make people take classes anyway. But that being said, I'd like to offer that for you folks as a benefit. For me, it saves me time. I can go and can grade your stuff for you if you want to. I'm perfectly okay doing that. But I think if you can pass the final project, I think we're good with the project scores. Is that reasonable? Cool. I wanted to pull up Twitch here. I forgot. Where is it? There it is. All right. So I think that's a good plan. So next week for group project work time, I'd like to meet in the game lab. So you can actually get together with your teams. There's pods people can sit at. We can have the Xboxes available. One of the HDMI cords, I think, walked off, or maybe it just got moved. Someone borrowed it. I haven't figured out where it is yet. So I will bring one from home that I don't want to leave in the lab, but at least we'll have two functioning in the lab at that point. So we can start trying some of these things on Xbox. Again, it works basically the same way, except you just want to make sure you're doing the controller handling properly. And then a couple other fun things. If you don't map something to the B button on Xbox controller, the B button will quit your game because that's the default back button. And if there's no handler for it, it just says, oh, you want to go back? And back in our case is generally quit the game. So it's a little bit funny there. So we want to be careful with some of the buttons that we handle there. So tonight, talk about images. I want to finish turning Pong into Brick Breaker. I think now that we got the collision set, we should be able to do that. And then it's a slightly more interesting game to look at. And I think we talked about doing Brick Breaker and some of those dynamics. So I've heard from most of the teams, I think. I sent an email out. A couple of people I hadn't self-assigned yet. So I put them in you haven't put yourself in a group yet, and emailed out them. I think all the other teams are set. Is anybody not set with their team? I think there was one group that just had one person in it. I'm not sure what was up with that, but let's see. Okay, no chat, so we're good there. I don't think did not mute myself. That's good. I have to double check that. I hate when I'm so shiny here. That light's really bright. Yeah. Turn that down a little. There we go. There, I think that's a little bit better. And then I still don't know scheduling wise which room we'll be in on the 20th for presentations. I'll let you know. We're not supposed to put as many people as we have in the class in the game lab, just due to fire code. So I'm not sure. We could bring the Xbox here. It fits in my backpack, and I can carry it across campus. It's a little awkward, but it would probably work. Then we only have the one HDMI cord, but it's probably okay. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So I could probably bring it here. And that's the right thing to do. I feel bad, as much as I like the game lab. Although we could have food in here, right? I think we could have food in here because we can't have food in the game lab.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, so you learned that from your lab safety training that you folks have been doing and sending me certificates for. So I turned in the last batch of requests. I think the first and second batch of requests have already been approved. This should work for you. If it doesn't, let me know. Once you send me the certificate, I also need your UMID and to know that your badge has a key on it. There's a little key icon. So if you've been here for a long time, your badge might not have a key on it. All the new ones, they've started doing it a while ago. So they just want to check. Otherwise, it doesn't have the RFID thing in it. It doesn't have the key. Right. Sound good? Sweet. So let's load up Visual Studio. How are things going with the final project? I know we got game ideas solidified. Hopefully you've got some work on it going, right? And then you can go from there. All right, so the first thing here, to get your program to not have the mouse icon in your app XAML, which is generally pretty empty here. We don't touch it here. The code behind for it in the constructor for app, you would need to add this line about requires pointer mode. So whether or not the mouse shows is this pointer mode, and you can say when requested. When you request the pointer, you'll have a pointer. If you don't request the pointer, it won't be there. So Xbox does not request a pointer, which I think makes sense. If there's no mouse to show on Xbox. So if you add that in, and then this was also in the example. I haven't tried it without, because this is in their documentation to add these 2 lines. So this line also apparently is what you're supposed to put in here. So it might have already been in there for you, because there is a function there for the suspending. So it should be okay. So if you add that in, it'll get rid of that ugly mouse icon on Xbox if anyone ran into that. So I think at least one team had been working through that, which was cool, getting their stuff running. We might have 2 groups doing Space Invaders. It's such a fun game, though. I imagine they'll turn out differently. It should be interesting enough. So, and come up with whatever wild power-ups you want, too, if you're doing Space Invaders. Like, they don't have to be the classic power-ups. You can just go nuts with them. So, it's totally up to you, however you want to look at doing that. All right, so back in our Pong game, then, I think we fixed all of our collisions. We didn't fix the paddle collisions, right? This was our to-do, but all the wall collisions were good, right? I think is what we ran into for that. And I think the absolute value stuff probably doesn't make quite as much sense, because we're specific on a left collision or a right collision. We're not a single pixel wide thing, because this idea, our walls, I think, were like 3 pixels wide, because we have a width here. But probably not too big of a deal, and maybe you could save some time. But generally, as we start doing more than just 2-dimensional shapes, we want to detect different collisions here to see which side it was on. So for the paddle, we had to fix these. And what was our arithmetic for these now? So we needed to see if we were less than the speed, right? Or we subtract the speed to see if we're going to hit this location here, if that becomes less than or equal to 0. So either we're at it, or we're going to be less than it based on our speed here, and we were within the Y range. I think we should be able to copy paste these. We'll see how well that works. I should mute my phone. It keeps beeping at me here. All right, I don't feel so bad. Dr. Boss said he's been teaching here for 17 years and didn't know there was a faculty lounge with free coffee. But he's not much of a coffee drinker, so he wouldn't be paying attention to that stuff. But now I don't feel so terrible. I think he's just making fun of me, though. The caffeine addiction is real. It's real. All right, so for our collision, so we did the left and rights for these. So a left collision is going to be our x minus, and what do we have for our paddle? Our paddle was just a simple x coordinate with a width. So that was capital X, right? And then the width was not a constant for this. So we should be able to have a different width paddle. Again, that's a pretty common power-up in sorts of games. Like Brick Breaker, you should be able to get a wider paddle, or the power downs. What are they? If it's not a power-up, it's a penalty? I don't know, whatever you call those. Like if you catch it where it shrinks your paddle. What? Debuff. Debuff, okay. You can pick a debuff. So the left edge and right edge. Oh, that's right. I wanted to, like, top and bottom are probably more important. So yeah, we don't care about the width for this one. We care about the height for this one here. So for our x, and then the speed here. So this is the x of the location minus rx. Then for our left edge is less than or equal to 0 minus the speed. It's less than or equal to 0. And oh, I moved too many parentheses here. Math absolute value. Too many parentheses. Oh my goodness. And then the y then, so we have a height here. So the y is going to be the top of our paddle, right? And then the y plus the height will be the bottom of our paddle. When we look at how we draw these things, right? Because we're doing rectangles for these. So if the y is greater than our starting y, and it's less than our y plus our height. Okay, so it's within the range of our y's here for where its y is. And then its x is here. Now we probably also need to take an account for speed for these two. Right, so if we're between, oh no, so this is for between the y's and colliding on the left edge. I think this will work, because we're not often going to have left collisions or right collisions anyway with the paddle. Probably shouldn't happen. But as we start turning these into bricks, these will be a little bit more important, or not we hit something on the left or not. So this will be, is the y within our left edge here, and then it needs to, so that was our, okay, so we got to flip these. So we can take the math.absolute value of our y minus the speed is greater than or equal to 0. So is the difference between these minus the speed, or no, less than or equal to 0, sorry, less than or equal to 0. So where it is minus where we are, minus how fast we're going. So are we getting within the range of it? Do we need to know which direction we're going? Because if we're going leftward, then we should be taking account the speed. The speed wouldn't matter for traveling to the left. The speed would only matter for traveling to the right, because if we're going to collide on someone's left edge, this gets to be really obnoxious. And this is why engines that do this sort of stuff are so much nicer. Collisions are just annoying. Probably won't be too big of a deal if we account for the speed the other direction. It might bounce a little early and that feels bad, but this will probably get us close enough. Does that seem okay? So if the y is within range here, right, and then the same for then our y plus the height. So the y minus y plus height, we got to make sure we do that in the right order. Because our y plus height then is where it ends minus its y location. Minus the speed less than or equal to 0. That's really obnoxious. And I think we can just do the exact same thing for colliding on the right. Make sure that our x is good. Well, this was accounting for width, that's right. So our x value that we're colliding with would, yeah, we need to have the width in here too. Shoot. So if we're, oh no, if we're colliding on the left, we don't. If we're colliding on the right, that'll be our x plus the width is where the end of this is. So we'll look at where the end of this is to get to the right side of us. Subtract their x value to see if it's going to hit our right edge. And then are they within the y? I think, we then get extra large. Is that the same as above? Okay, we just added in the plus width. Yep. So for colliding on the top edge, then now we need to see is it within range of our x to x width, and is the y going to collide with our? So if we're hitting on the top, it'll match our y. When we're hitting on the bottom, it'll be our y plus the height. So we're within range of, so math absolute value of the x minus the x minus the speed is less than or equal to 0. So this is it the x within our left edge here? And then is it within the right edge? So x plus the width here. So within the left edge, within the right edge, and then is the y, I think this is just the regular y. Does the y gets within the speed here? Semicolon, okay. Y minus the y minus our speed. Connect here. I guess we should be able to see if we're hitting the top edge. You can't hit the top edge if you're traveling downward. I think we can account for those then, if we're traveling right or traveling left. Right? You should never be able to hit my left edge if you're traveling to the left. Right, as we were saying with speed here. Right, and then the right edge and our speed, okay. Top edge here, and then for the bottom, should be the same thing now, but the bottom of our box is going to be the y plus the height. All right, Let's see if that one works for us. See if we can properly connect with the paddle. And then we'll see, once this works, then we can put the image in. We want to make sure collisions work, and then we can swap in the image. I think that got extra funny because the image size was a little weird. Uh-oh, that didn't work. So the X, looks like it got to the middle here. That's fun. All right, so when do we check if we collide? So that was probably colliding on the top edge or the bottom edge. It was in here. So if there's a collidable, check to see bottom edge, top edge. Was the ball y plus the radius? Bottom edge of the ball minus the radius. This worked with walls, right? I think we did that with walls for x's. For x was plus the radius, because it turned out x and y were the center, right? I think did I post the meme about you could just debug it for 30 minutes, or you could just read the documentation for a minute, or debug it for a couple hours. That one hurt after last week learning that. Let's see. So colliding the bottom edge, so our y should be the center, and then our y would be the y. So this is us going upward. So this should be the top of the ball, y minus the radius. Because if we're traveling up, we'd be hitting someone's bottom edge. If we're traveling down, we should be hitting someone's top edge. Here should be our y plus the radius. And then the speed was still 1. I shouldn't have changed that. Let's see. So I kept hitting it. Oh, let's flip them and see if it changes. I'm curious now. Maybe I just have it backwards in my head. Just got to try it and see. Be nice if this ran a little faster, though. All right, play the game. Nope, still stuck in the middle. I can't even move the paddle, too, so something's real stuck in here. I think it's probably moving all around here. So let's put a breakpoint in. Okay, here we go. So now we should be able to step through and see what's going on with this. So the ball then, it's x and y 299, 451. We see that in our little 4 minus debugger. And then where is the paddle? So we have this is the player paddle. So its x value is 262, its y is 450. So the y got 1 past where the paddle was. So that's the center of the ball, right? Oh, come on, where'd it go? I had it there. Wasn't it there? This one. It's not showing me. All right, that's okay. So it looked like the center of it got to the top, right? I think when we looked at just eyeballed it there. That seems about right. So it's x 262. Our ball's at 290. So 262 plus 50. So it should be within those ranges, right? So that should be good. So no game pads. If we're not game over, uh-oh. Oh, we got to game over already. Uh-oh. Where do we check for game over? So the game over here, if the ball's y is greater than the bottom edge. Bottom edge is 450, so the game just ended, is why it just stopped here. We said the game was over, because it should have bounced before then. Right? So we got too far, so it didn't bounce at all off of our paddle, or off of the paddle. But I want to see, can we flip game over? I think we can flip game over. Let's do one more step here. Okay, so let's go change game over. So in our debug mode, we can go change that. Say game over is false. No? Come on. Let me change the value. False. Why? Hates me. Why? Edit value. False. False keyword. Not even let me change it. I'm just going to cheat here. This is awful. Apologize. We'll cheat. We'll make sure that loop runs anyway, so we can see why it's not bouncing for us. So it was bouncing before we changed the math absolute value, right? It just wasn't bouncing quite correctly last week. It was still off a little bit, I think. So like right in here, it should be hitting. I just changed the speed to 0. Now I can put a breakpoint and update. All right. So we should have a list of bricks. And then for everything that's drawable. So we have, what is this drawable? Our ball here. Now what's the next one? Okay, we have a wall. We don't care about the wall. So let's skip it, step out of that one, go to the next one. What's the next collidable? Is the other wall, step out of that one. All right, now we have a paddle. Which paddle is this one? So this is the 450. So this should be our paddle here. So we want to see if it collides against the bottom name or bottom edge here, and it shouldn't do that. All right, if we collide along the top edge. So we want to step into this one here. So step into. That was the get here. Come on. Okay, there's the get. Come on. All right, collides along the top edge. So our x is 290. The y was 432. Was that what it was for the ball? I think I was right for the ball, right? 290, 442. Oh. So we did plus the radius, right? We increased it to see if we could glide along the top edge. That makes sense. So our x minus our x. So 270 minus 290, or 290 minus, so we should have 20 minus the speed. So that one will not be true, right? All right, I think our check here is wrong for this then, if it's within the range. So we just need, if it's within x and y. We don't need to care about the, we do want to account for the speed though. So we want to return if our x is greater than or equal to rx, and then x is less than or equal to x plus width. So is it within range of our width? Hector, my friend, thanks for donating those bits to the Student Scholarship Fund here at the University of Michigan Dearborn College of Engineering and Computer Science. This should put it within range of our x value. So is it greater than and less than r plus width here? But then we also need the speed. So is it within range? So we don't know if we're going left or right though. Should be okay. Let's see. This is just our, yeah. So it's probably okay. But if we're going super fast, we might miss it if we're close to one of the edges. So how do we get our x? What is our x value? 270. There's this 290. Our width is 50. So it should be true then, right? Our x plus the width is 320. So it's less than that, and it's greater than ours. 290 is greater than 270. I don't think we'll get the same rebuild and apply changes. Hot reload didn't work. Sometimes you can get the hot reload to work. Not supported by the runtime. That's unfortunate. Let's see if that fixes our top edge. Oh, did it not? There it goes. Take that breakpoint out for a minute and continue. That breakpoint out and continue. There we go. Now we can actually play. It did bounce, but it, oh, we have flipped those radiuses. Why? That's right. We flipped those. Minus and plus. That was probably not the issue there. So it's probably this one here. So our collision then on the bottom edge, we need to fix that as well. The bottom edge would be the same for our X logic. It's the Y logic we need to care about. All right, let's try that. Oh, return false, didn't log an error? MX, uh-oh. Oh, I did break it. Oops, just regular X there. There we go. See if we can fix our bouncing. Fluffy, we're just trying to get the collisions here to work. Nothing too interesting. All right, that one seemed like it worked. Let's go. If I'm negative, does it still work? No, oh, okay. Negative didn't. That was confusing. That seems like a good collision. Let's see if it bounces off the computer's paddle. Sort of did, but that was too far, right? Watch it a little slower. That was a total miss. Way too far. So why is it breaking? Our Y value. Y minus the Y for our top edge should just be the Y minus the speed. Y minus the Y. I think what we had in here before was better. I think all this speed stuff is messing it up. This will be our top edge. Let's see if we can get that to go. So it would be our Y is equal to their Y, or their Y equals our Y. It will hit the top edge. I guess we can say if this one or their Y, so if they're going to hit our top edge, they're going downwards, we should add the speed, is greater than or equal to our Y. So if either one of these is true, right, if we hit it or we get past it, we should be bouncing off. Oh, it was only for the top edge. That'll be for our paddle. You gotta do the bottom edge for the computer's paddle if that works. Nope. It's continually bouncing up and down. All right, we did a bad thing. We broke it. This one was no good. It was greater than. It hits our top edge. Should be going up. Oh, that'd be minus the speed, right? Is that less than or equal to our Y? Less than or equal to our Y? Hydration. Thank you, PJ. I'll give this one a shot. If not, we'll put it back to what we had before. All right. Seems like it's bouncing. The continually bounced while I was within. All right. That was no good. Y equals Y. So this was fine, but we wanted to see if it also went past. What do we have with our absolute value? Because we got it working with the walls, right? The walls worked. Minus the speed. We never changed these ones, did we? The top and bottom for the walls. Value minus the speed. So we got left and right to work. Value minus the speed. If that works for that, it should work for this one, right? Lines on our top edge. Y minus Y less than or equal to 0. Is that what we had before? What was in here? Y minus the height minus the speed. Let's try it. All right, that bounced. It will bounce here. Oh, that one went too far. That's right, we didn't fix that one. So the Y, let's see. So it's going too far. So we wanted its Y, it should be connecting with our Y plus the height. That we had in there before? I think we had something else. Let's see. Hat, need original lamp. I didn't bring a hat. I forgot. Usually I have a hat that I wear. I've been leaving it at home lately for some reason. I'll have to give you back your points in a little bit. Sorry. All right. We're almost there. And then we can do bricks and images. All right, that one bounced. Speed it up a second. Then, all right, that bounced that time. But now if we're going faster, it might not always catch it. Or it should with those absolute values, right? With the speeds. All right, that's looking a little better. Let's go back. Let's try demo mode. Speed it up even more. All right, are we working? I think it's working. All right, awesome. So let me save this here. You can say those seem to be working for us. 297. Didn't we change something? That's where we changed it, didn't we? Refresh. We changed the file, right? Yeah, it was modified. Take that out. All right, GitHub's just being dumb then, right? Oh dear, where is this one? Did I change the wrong one? Let's show this. Oh my goodness, open in File Explorer, there we go. I've been changing the wrong one, doing it in the old folder here. Shoot, okay, let me fix that then. So that was from 2019. I'm gonna fix that. Let's go up a folder, take our animated Pong here. That's what I get for copy pasting, I'm sorry. Oh geez, there's a lot of files. This is why we only commit certain things to GitHub. Hey, there we go. That was better. All right, cool. That's why none of the stuff got committed last time. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Sorry. Here is Pong with collisions that work, mostly. Okay. Now, I want to not be using this one, so I got to go open up the right project. Make sure we are in the right one here. And we'll put the images back. Yeah, Pygame was really fun to do simple games like that. All right, so now if we want images again. The issue with images is loading them has to be async, which is no fun. So on our game page, we had some code here a while ago we commented out that would create resources as an async task. So we could call create resources, and it would happen outside of the game thread. So one of the things this animated canvas does is it has a separate thread to manage things. That way stuff doesn't get blocked, which is nice. And it's cool that it does that automatically for us. Problem is, you can't do things on that thread without getting upset at you. So we have to do it asynchronously to load our images. So we had this idea of the ball image. We could go and get then, let's see, out of our assets folder. So in the assets folder, you can put files in here, and you want to make sure you set them to copy always. I think they default to copy always, but just in case, make sure your action here is set to copy always, and it's the content to be included in this relative assets directory. So when it does deploy, it actually pushes it out with it properly. And then we were going to set up Pong then to accept the image. So this didn't accept an image. We needed, where's our ball? Did I copy that out or did I uncomment it? Yeah, here we go. A canvas bitmap image for the ball. Let's do our Pong constructor. So takes an image for the ball. And then ball, then we also need the, I don't think it needs a radius at this point then. We should just be able to set, oh, probably needs a radius value. We should be able to set an image though as well. Oh, I can't use this as ball image. I'll pass it the ball image. So for our ball image then in ball, go add that as a canvas bitmap image. There we go. All that. We'll set the image. And then we go and draw ourselves. We don't need to draw an ellipse. Here we just need to draw the image at the X and Y. And we don't need to worry about the changing color, but that's fine. We could change color randomly later, or it doesn't really hurt anything to do that. It's probably a little extra than we need. So the problem with this image then was, I think we had, how large was it? It is, where's the, here we go. It's about 40 by 40. So that should be a radius of 20, right? So when we go and pass the radius here, we want to make sure that we're setting that up with, let's go, we're going to make the ball with a radius of 20. So I'm using all sorts of shortcuts, and I always forget to tell people what they are. So back here, if you right-click, you can say go to definition or F12, and that'll jump right to that method or function or whatever it is that you're looking at. So that's a very helpful shortcut. And I think I've shown you the list of methods in a given class in this top right dropdown. It's really nice for navigating around as well. All right, so we got the image, 20 by 20. We should be in decent shape here then. Let's see if that draws for us now. We'll put that back in. So any images you want, just drop in assets, make sure they're set there, and then we're going to load all of them asynchronously with that async task. Oh, we forgot to do that here. So we want our, that's right. So this sets up, we want to do Pong in our create resources. There we go, because that will set up the Pong game here. See if that goes for us. And now we should hopefully have that ball image working for us. Not the best picture, I'm sorry. I just found a cheap one online and said, fine, I don't really care. Let's see. All right. Oh, okay. So now our whole radius logic is screwed up. This is probably why that was messed up before, because when it draws an image here, when we go to Pong and we go look at its draw here, so the X and Y draw ball, when you go and draw an image, it takes the X and the Y for the top left, not the center. That's really unfortunate here. So now a lot of our logic is going to need to change because we were depending on the center and we would add the radius places rather than our top plus the height or plus the width. That's gross. Okay. Is that worth fixing, or should we just go back to the other one and start doing bricks? We can do either. I know how entertaining it is to watch me troubleshoot code. I can do either. All right, we'll try and fix it. All right. So let me just leave a note here. Ellipse count for X and Y being the center. And with images, image for X and Y being top left. All right. If the ball is Pong, what is this game? Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. There's a fun name for it. All right, so we draw it. So all of our collisions then need to change for when we're colliding. Where's our ball? So when we look for collisions here then, so it's not ball.x, ball.y minus radius. So should I comment these out and leave the old version? Let's do that. So we'll leave the old version. Oh goodness, undo. Okay, so that's the old version. So this will be, if we're hitting the bottom edge, means we're going up. So we can just use the y. That should be perfectly fine. And then if we're colliding at the top edge, it means we're going down. All right, one more. There we go. So we'll copy this line, keep that one in here. So if we're going to hit the top edge, we're traveling down. That'll be our y plus the radius times 2, right? Because we gave it radius of 20, but it actually was a height of 40, right? It's bad math, but then I don't have to take a height and a width. I can just use radius. We sort of cheat here, I think. Right, we'll copy this one. To see if we're colliding on the left edge, means we're traveling rightward. So that should be our x plus the radius times 2. And then if we are, just the line, colliding on the right edge, means we're traveling to the left. That'll be our just regular x here, if we're traveling to the left. I think, where's my format? Advanced format. Control E and D, or Control E, D. There we go. Format the document. Oh, goodness. I took out the curly brace. That one was important. Okay. And then we don't need to change colors either. So that doesn't matter. Do we care about this bounced? Where do we use it? If we bounced. Okay, that's right. If we bounced, we'll destroy the brick. No, do I have too many curly braces now? I did a bad thing somewhere. What did I do? All right, let's undo. Undo, undo. Undo, 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 undo. This one here. That's what happened. So this one, I didn't need that closing curly brace I added. There we go. Control E and D. I formatted too soon. Okay, that looks a little happier. So I think that'll be fine now for our, whether or not we've collided, because we fixed the X and the Y's up, I think. Give it a shot. It's got to be some easy math to see if two rectangles collided, right? Instead of doing it this hard way. If you're good at geometry. All right, so they collided with the wall, fine. Collided with our paddle, fine. Speed it up a little bit. Collided with that one, okay. All right, these look pretty good. These look pretty good. Cool. All right, so we'll close that. So now we want to figure out the brick thing, right? To actually put some bricks in. Now, I think we set this up where we could add bricks with one of the buttons. What was it here? This is only if we press the A button on the controller. We want to also add then a way to add bricks. We push a button. So let's see. So we had methods in here. So let's have a method for add a brick. So public void add brick. And then we can basically do one of these things here. But maybe we don't want random values. Random's probably okay for now, but if we wanted to like put them in a row at the top, or maybe we want to let's load a bunch of bricks instead. Let's do that. So we'll put a bunch of bricks. We'll table add brick. We'll come back to that. So we make Pong. Let's put a bunch of bricks at the top. So we'll set up random, and then we'll do top row bricks of bricks. See if we can break out a couple bricks. So if we want to be at the top, then the brick needed an X, needed a Y. So all the Y's would be the same. We don't want anything random. And we want to do a loop then. So for int, I don't know, left edge. And we want to start at the left edge of our wall. Left edge. Oh my goodness, what is it? Left edge. There we go. And then our left edge plus, what do we want the width of these bricks to be? We should probably have like a brick width somewhere in here. Brick. Nope. Do we have a brick width? We could add a width to a brick class, I guess, if we wanted. It should be, it's fun to make them random, I guess. We'll leave it as is. We'll go back. So we'll just say then plus, I don't know, make these 50 wide. Let's see how that goes. Is less than the right edge, left edge. Instead of plus plus, right, we want to go as wide as we're going to make the brick, so about 50. Right, so we'll go 50 at a time, making bricks as we go. We'll take the left edge, and then we want the, so this is brick needs X, needs Y, so the Y value that should always be the same. So we want to be top edge, I don't know, plus 10, be 10 pixels below the top edge. And then for our width, then for brick, we want to be a width of 50, and then a height of 10. And then we needed what, a random color. So let's pick a random color. Let's see if we can't do that. We'll add a brick, add the obstacle. Nope, left edge. So left edge, we should get a bunch of bricks, 50 pixels at a time. I don't know if this will actually match here, right? The left edge is what? What is our left edge? 10, and the right edge is 790. Okay, so we probably want something that fits a little better. 50 is no good there. That's 780. Is that divisible by, not by 50? By 40? 780? No, because you'll hit 800. By 20? You do brick size by 20? Okay, so maybe let's do these 20 at a time here then. Let's do int brick width. I'm tired of doing this a bunch. Brick width is 20 plus the brick width plus the brick width plus the brick width. Okay, there are going to be some tiny rectangles here, but that should be okay. We'll add those in. See if we can add some here for us to bounce off of. Really, at this point, we don't need the computer paddle. We can take that out later because we want to win, right? Or no, do we add a top wall? Is that what? I don't remember how Brick Breaker works now. You just have to break a hole in it? And there's a top wall, I think. All right, there's a bunch of bricks. Uh-oh. Well, something didn't go right with our brick. We lost them. How did it collide on all those bricks? What's our... So the math, that was when it hit the left edge, right? So our left edge math here is wrong. We never fixed that up, did we? For the wall. The wall collides on the left edge. The Y is greater than, right? Wall. Because we just made our bricks. Oh, bricks were paddles. Okay, so the left edge was not correct. We never came back to these. Shoot. All of that nonsense. I guess that's important now. We collide on the left or the right. So we're hitting on the left edge. It needs to be traveling to the right. That's our x. What do we do? Do we just scrap the speed for now or something? And then the y's just have to be, no, the y's just need to be between. Forget all this other stuff. Y is less than ry, and y is greater than or equal to ry plus the height. Less than or equal to y and greater than equal to our height. Y plus height. Right? For the y's, and same for the right edge. I think all that was more than we needed here. All right, should we try that? See if that goes now. All right. Nope, still broke all of them. That's crazy. Line it on the left edge. The y less than our y, greater than or equal to our y plus height. This is the other way around, isn't it? That's the wrong logic. It has to be greater than or equal to our y and less than or equal to our y plus height. Right, so it's in between. So it's at least ry and less than our y plus height. Logic is hard. Definitely was the left edge. And then it's x. So it's x is within our x. The x is our x. We'll try it one more time. If not, we'll just put back the x. Forget the speed thing for now. We can come back to speed later. No, it still broke them all. All right, we'll just put the x back then. So x equals x. And the same one here too. Forget all that. Try that one more time. Bricks are kind of small. You might want to make larger bricks. I think we're going to end up colliding with more than one. Did it again. How did it do that? X is the x, y is the y. Our right edge plus the height, yeah. Well, it should be plus our width, right? Plus the width. The x, if we were hitting the right edge. Wow. That's really wrong. That's unfortunate. Here's our, I want to fix this random color. Let's not do this. There we go. Now we'll get actual random colors. So we don't pick random ones. Why is it still doing everything on the left? Oh no, this is our collides on the right edge because we hit the right edge of the wall, I think. Oh, we can put a breakpoint in and see. Let's see here. We'll go hit one of these. If it bounced. We'll see if it bounced here. So we know we bounced here. Where's our, this isn't right. The error list. Oops. There we go. Call stack's way too big there. All right, so our current collidable, and it's a wall at 10, 10, 10, 450. Okay, so that's the wall. So nothing should happen here because it's not a brick. It's fine. And then the next one here, let's step out. All right, we did bounce. So now let's see what the next collidable is. So the next collidable is the other wall, made at 790. That's fine. Let's continue out of this one. All right, the next one here then is a paddle. We don't need the paddle. The next one is another paddle. We don't need the paddle. Here's a brick. All right. So we're looking at this collidable. Why are we removing it? It didn't bounce with this one. Oh, we never reset bounced. That's why. So bounced. Got set as false once. We need to do it for every collidable to see if we bounced off of it. Right? Because we set bounce as true because we bounced off the wall, but bounce is still true as we're continuing to loop through all the collidable things, all the every drawable. So every time we have a drawable, we need to restart bounce is false. I think that'll probably take care of it. He's going to reset that as we go. We just put that down here, right? Where else do we use bounced? Oh, we return at the end. Okay, that's fine. Why do we return that at the end? Do we use update with the Boolean? So we know we're at the definition. If I want to find everywhere it's used, I can use the go to implementation, and it's going to show me everywhere this method is. Oh no, I'm sorry, not implementation. Find references. Find all references. Find me all the places it's used. Or I can just click the one reference here. That's also fast. So just call it Pong update. Okay, so we don't need that Boolean. I think the idea is I wanted to play a sound every time it bounced, so I needed to know if it bounced or not. But that's okay. So it won't hurt anything to have that. So we'll stop and try that again. Now hopefully it stops taking out our bricks. Come on. Oh, we don't need the breakpoint, right? Let's continue. Oh, come back. Come back. Oh no, I lost. Except the game never ends because we took off that game over loop. I think we can stop that game over loop now that we fixed our collisions. One more try, and then we should take a break. It's after 7. You folks gotta yell at me if I'm going too long. I'll sit up here and talk all day. All right, one more run. See if we get some bricks to work. Play. There we go. Uh-oh. Stopped bouncing. How did it stop bouncing? I'm super confused. Wasn't it just bouncing like a second ago? What did we change? The only thing we changed is the game over? Did we bounce or not? Ball Y, greater than the top edge, or ball Y plus the height. Oops, should be its height, right? Plus ball dot radius times 2. So it gets less than, or the bottom of it gets more than there. I don't know. The bottom edge. What's our bottom edge? Set to 450. Where do we put our paddle? Play your paddle at the bottom edge. Should go like -5 or something here, and then +5. Let's see. I don't know how we broke those collisions. I'm really sad. We didn't mess with the top edge or bottom edge, right? Maybe they were never working. Here's the left. Okay, now it bounced. Did I change anything? I moved the paddle up 5 pixels. Oh, it hit a brick. That was exciting. Our brick should be at least bigger than the ball, right? Okay. So let's make the bricks a little bigger. Maybe they don't need to go from edge to edge. So where do we add all of our bricks? We did in the constructor, right? Let's do a width of 50 for each of these. And then let's space them out a little bit as well. So let's add 5 pixels in between. The last one might be a little funny. We can fix it up later. I just want to see if it'll space them out a little better for us. Unless we could hit in between them, but that's okay. All right. Okay, that looks a little nicer. So those bricks now. Did I not? I didn't catch it right. Something. All right, collisions still need a little work. Try it one more time. Okay, now it's bouncing. I can space the bricks out a little more, maybe. Hey, we broke one. I think our logic's a little bad because we're using like the left edge instead of the center of the ball. That's okay. All right, awesome. So we're breaking some bricks. Maybe we'll add a top wall, add a way to add more bricks, and then we can do some power-ups, right? Or debuffs, power-ups and debuffs. Sound good? And then we'll have some more time to work with our groups. Okay? So we take 10, and then we'll come back a little bit. What is that? 722? Yeah. And remember to unmute. There we go. All right. So I did want to go ask our chat bot here if we can do collisions better, because this has just been awful here. So how do you detect if two rectangles intersect in C#? It intersects with method. Built into rectangle, really? That's kind of exciting. Do we really have that in our, we just have draw rectangles. We don't actually have a rectangle object, but we could add in rectangle objects for these things, right? If we wanted to. Is this worth trying? I have no idea if it'll work or not. I think it might. We'll try it and see. All right. So a wall then should have a public rectangle. Call it bounds. I like that. Bounds with a get and a private set. So when we create our wall here, then we should set our bounds equal a new rectangle. Given, what does it need here? Given, does that work? Given specs, what is it? X, XO. Where's our constructor? Oh, you need all the constructors. Rectangle. They're not. I guess it's just the properties. Okay. XO, X0, XO. No. Oh goodness. Bounds dot. What do we have here? How do we not have any X and Y? There's no X and Y. All right, forget that then. What is that rectangle class? Rectangle. Don't want this rectangle. Dot. Enter. Okay. What's the class then? What's the rectangle class? The rectangle struct. Rectangle. How do we get C# rectangle struct? Drawing.rectangle. Okay. Drawing.rectangle. Drawing dot. Drawing dot rectangle. System.drawing.rectangle. Why? All right. Using system.drawing. Doesn't exist. Okay. That is no good then. All right. Without a struct. Okay. This is the code we want. All right, so the max of these minus the min of those. Okay, that's fun. And then height and width. Let's do that. Okay, so forget all that rectangle nonsense. We can pull that back out for our wall. Forget the bounds then. So how do we tell if we collide? So let's add a bool collides given int xo int x1 int yo int y1. X is, oh, this is plus the height and width. Shoot. So we want height and width. and for height, and a for width. All right, so then it's just our x and y. Because we have an XO. So XO, X0. All right. And then the y's will be our y0 and their y. Right? And then can't already have an x. Oh, sorry, we already took an x. So other x, other y. I'm already confused. So we have x and y, width and height. X and y, width and height. So we don't have widths and heights. We just have our x's, our corners. So is it easier to use corners? I'm trying to remember if it's easier to use corners or not. Or other x, or width and height. So we just did x1 and x2 is their x and their x. And then we did y1 and y2, our x and their y. All right, so our x and their other x, and our y and their other y. And then we did the x1 plus width, x2 plus width, 2, minus the x. Can't take width and height. Oh my goodness. All right, so other height and other width. Other height and other width. So then this should be our x. This is our x1, because we already have our width in there. It'll be the other x plus the other width. Right? And then our y we already have, so that's just our y1. And then other y plus the other height minus the y. And then we can return whether or not these are both greater than 0. Right? Because if that was true, they intersect. If not, they don't intersect. Does that make sense? I think. So we can see if we collide with other things then, given their x and y. That's just a single point that we need all of their points. I think we can do that. We can change our collidable. We changed it once before, right? Well, let's just add another one here. Let's just do that. Collides given int x1 and y1 and x2 and y2. All right, let's try that. We can add a new collides method then. Other x1, other y2. Other x1, this other x2. We should do zeros and ones, shouldn't we? That's fine. So check our top corners, check the bottom corners. All right, see if we intersect. You can try that. All right, so then for the paddle, I think it's the same thing then, right? This collides. So we added a method to the interface to see if it collides, to make this easier, given the corners. So this one has x and y. See, I'm terrible at variable names here. X and y, then x plus the height, and y plus x plus the width, and y plus the width. Okay, cool. This is a problem for not using these consistently. No, didn't I do it? Oh yeah, that was kind of messed up with y. So it should be this collides method, right? What does it not implement? Oh, I spelled collides wrong. There we go. This one's upset too. So in the interface, I spelled it wrong. Where'd it go? Collides. That should take care of those errors, I think. Yeah, all the red went away. So now we can just see if we collide. Maybe? Let's try all of this. So if any of these collide, then I guess we'll leave those as, then we can comment them all out. Just do a whole block comment. There we go. Control K, X, and then the slash for some reason. I don't know why I know that. That's in my head. So if collidable.collides with the ball. So we know the ball then, the ball.x, ball.y, and then it's the end of its location is going to be ball.x plus ball.radius times 2 because we screwed this up, but this is okay. We're just going to live with it. And ball.y plus ball.radius times 2, lowercase b ball. So that's the rectangle of the ball essentially here. So if it collides there, then we'll say, oh, this is why we had the change its direction. That's annoying then, because we needed to know specifically which way for it to bounce. That should work though, but now we don't know how to reverse its direction because we would change its up, down, or its left to right, depending on which side we hit. That's unfortunate. Although it worked for this. Okay. Yeah, forget it. It was a fun experiment. Didn't work. You know, let's just go back here. I'll just revert. There we go. Just discard the changes. Go back to the last checkpoint. All right, we tried. Didn't work. Yeah, because none of that's gonna. Okay, connect for it. So we were gonna add in power-ups, right? Once we hit a brick. So we want, if we were to hit a brick, we need a new catchable power-up or something. So let's call this. This is a what power-up? We'll just make it a rectangle because that makes our life easy, which is essentially a paddle. Because that way we have all the logic for it here, and then it's destroyable. So let's make this a power-up. You give it an X, you give it a Y, you give it a width, you give it a height, you give it a color. Sure. Later we could do images. That'd be fun, like to pick a random image for different power-ups, right? They should look different, right? We could do mushrooms for you making the paddle larger. And we just watched the Mario trailer. That's all right. We can come up with some ideas. You know, images would be nice. Be fun here. Movie actually is not bad. We watched the SNL skit where they were going to do Mario Kart as a movie. But all right, so to update these, then we need to go and change what we're doing. So for update on a paddle, where's our paddle class here? It was going to update given traveling right or left. This way, we don't want to do that. So we need to make sure this is virtual so we can override it. Then we can go override that behavior for override void update. There we go. So we want to start increasing this y value until we've been caught, essentially. Right, so we're going to take our y plus plus. Right, we can change the speeds around later, but essentially we'll make this y plus plus until it'll just start working its way down. Right, as we increase y, it gets closer to the bottom of the screen. So we should be able to catch these things. So on the chance that we destroy a brick, where is it in here? We destroy a brick, we should have like some random chance of having a power up, or for now we could just always do one for now. That might be easier. So let's make a new, excuse me. Let's take our, what is it, drawables, right? So we're gonna take drawables, we're gonna add a new power up. And we need to give it where it's X and it's Y. So X should probably be maybe the center, or probably just where, I don't know, somewhere around Rx, so brick.x, X, plus, oh, does brick not have X? What does brick have? Where's brick? It's wall. Oh, it's a wall, so it's a XO. X0? No? Brick dot, right? Bricks to destroy. Oh, it's just a drawable right now, so we need to treat it as a collidable. That's obnoxious, but that's fine. So because we use this as the drawables is just a list of the interface type, it doesn't have any of those properties of the actual class. We can go cast it as the actual class here. We don't even want the iDestroyable, right? We want brick. Brick is brick. Oh, that's annoying. I can't change it here because it's just a drawable. Hang on. Brick. That's annoying, but sure. If the actual brick is not null, then we can go do this thing. No, it should never be null because it's okay. We'll come back to that. So this is brick.xo. No? Oh, actual brick. There we go. Actual brick dot x. Okay. And we just, I don't know, bump it up 5 pixels, and then the y should be my actual brick dot y. And then its width, maybe just 20 or something. Its height, maybe 5. Again, we can come back to these later and pick random color. So when we destroy one of these things, we'll go add a power up here. Actually, so if we collided, then the same, if we collided, should work for if we catch the power up, right? So if it's a brick, then we want to add a new power up. If it is a if it's a power up, then power up equals the brick as a power up. If the power up's not null, then we don't want to add one. We want to go do something here. So in our case, let's just assume this changes our paddle here. So we have layer paddle dot width plus equals 10. So if it is a power up, then we'll go change. And again, have multiple kinds of power ups, and you can have all sorts of different ways we want to go check for this. Should be fun. But if it's a power up, then we'll go do this. If it was a brick, then we'll go add the power up. And again, this is going to happen for every brick. We probably want to have some sort of randomness here. We just want to see if we can get these to go and catch them. Make it a little bit more game-like. And then we're going to add the top wall and remove the computer paddle, right, to kind of finish out turning it into a brick breaker. Add a bunch of rows of bricks, or I don't know. Have some options here. All right. Speed it up a second. Oh, it's not moving though. Uh-oh. It made one, but it's not. Why isn't it updating? So for update. Oh, we could only ever update the ball on the player paddle. We need to update every power up then. Let's see, do we want to have, we have a list of power ups, I guess. Then we have them in 2 places, so that's kind of annoying. So let's go, we can loop through our list of drawables. This is probably not ideal. Maybe having a second list would be good. That might be better. That might be better. That's all right, we'll just be cheap for now. So we'll go through for each drawable, in drawables. This is going to be slow. And then see if it is a power up or not. If it's not null, then we'll call power up.update. That should decrease its y value. This is drawable. Be slow. should have a separate list. But that would take a little bit more work, a little more adding stuff here. We're running. I wanted to make sure you had enough time to work with your teams too. It's taking a little longer than I thought. Sorry. Oh, I forgot to go back to chat here. All right, cool. All right, now we'll see if we can get that going here. Oh shoot, my collisions are wrong. Hang on. Because we were all based off the left edge. We didn't catch it on the left edge. It should be like the whole width of it here. One more time. I should have added a back button. Do we have a? We never had the game over button or restart game button, did we? We were going to add. Oh, you have the menu button. I do have a menu button. I added that in just probably for that reason. You guys want to let me stop and start this whole time? All right, let's see if we get the power up. Hey, look at that, it's dropping. All right, so we'll bounce the ball. Okay. We didn't catch the power up. How do we not catch the power up? For everything, is it collidable, right? Because it is a.
I was going to say, I don't think we made it.
Well, it's a brick, right? It's a paddle, and paddles are collidable. Paddles implement collidable. So it should have been collidable. Why didn't we catch it then? Oh no, our same.
Make it collidable with the other paddle?
So it should just check if anything collides, right? Because paddle has the collide logic for left edge and right edge. Paddle's collidable, so we're going to see if it's collidable. Let's see. We wanted to check our. Oh, but we don't want it to actually bounce though. So all this is obnoxious. You might need different colliding logic. We're going to have troubles with this. I'm not quite there. So maybe we do want a separate list then for these things. So let's add a list of power-ups. Let's have a private list of power-ups. New list power-up. And then we can add that in separate here then. So we don't need to worry about any of this then, right? Because this would just be our regular bricks. We do want to add all of that. This is all the drawables, bricks to destroy. Then we want to go through. So for each power up in power-ups, colon, power-ups. Nope, it was the N word. In power-ups. That's lowercase p, right? Power-ups. So if it collides, it would be its bottom edge collides with the ball. Right, all this ball x, ball y collides bottom edge. So if it collides, then we still need a list of these to destroy. Oh, that's so annoying. Just a power-up. Power-ups. Destroy. List a power-up. So if it collides, we can add it, add the power-up. And then we'll take the ball.width. Oh. And we have width. Oh no, not the ball, sorry. The player paddle. Width plus 10. And then we'll take power-ups, remove all power-ups to destroy. Move all. Oh, it needs a, that's annoying. For each power up to destroy, and my power ups to destroy. Power ups, remove, power up to destroy. Okay. Let me go remove it. So if it collides on the bottom edge with the ball, that ought to do it, I think. We'll see. So we'll see if we ever hit one of these things here then, or if we collided. Let's be a little faster now, at least. Ooh, we could go fix that too while we're here. Let's go. Come on, come on. Here, we got to fix in our update now. So we can, as we're looping through, we can just go and update them anyway. So we had, this is going to be slow here. We don't want to do that. We'll just call the update here. So as we're looping through, update the power up, and then see if it collides. That way we can get the update going anyway. All right. Catch the ball. It's not moving. Do we not? Oh, we didn't put it in the right spot. This should be power ups. All right. So we'll add it to the power ups. There we go. Now they should update because we're going through that list. This way, I could use that collision logic, right, instead of using the other one. They're really not doing it. I don't think it's moving it. Well, crap. Power ups. Power up updates, right? We added the power up. Was it just too dark to see? Just give me a random one that was too dark. This random color stuff is nonsense. Because you can get the wrong color so you can't even see it. We should have used the mushroom image. What we should have done for this. We should have just started with it. I'm hoping it was just the wrong color. We just couldn't see it. Let's try it again. Nothing? All right, hang on. Let's go put a breakpoint in here. All right. So are there any power-ups? There is a power-up. It's at, oh, it's moving. We just can't see it. The color, is the color too dark?
I think it's like
I thought all F's was white. Is all F's black?
black. No. Black and zeros. Black, and that's what I was. Yeah.
Here's the power-ups list. So it's there. It's just not doing it. We're not seeing it, right?
But it's at X and Y is at 500. So it's not even being.
Oh yeah, it's way down low already. Went too low. Where was our ball? Or no, the paddle, right? Player paddle. Here's our paddle. Our Y is 450. Yeah, so it's too low already. We just didn't. Must just not have seen it. We'll just continue. Try and hit another one. Nothing? We can't get two black ones in a row, right? That seems wrong. Oh, we never drew it. You never drew it on the screen. Oh my goodness, because our drawables here then in draw. That's why. Draw game. Draws every drawable. Reach, bar, power up and power ups. Power up dot draw, given the canvas. Yeah, if we actually draw them on the screen, we'll be able to see them. This is why having the single list of drawables was nice. All right, we're almost there. Also, if we never catch it, it just continues in the game forever. Probably should remove them after they hit the bottom line. All right, there's a power up. Now see if we can catch it. Bounce the ball. Catch the power up. Nope. Oh, we didn't collide. Collides with bottom edge. We're just going to use our logic. We'll just use that. We still have our collision logic here, right? If any part of it intersects, then, all right. So we want any part of it intersects here. So this will be ball dot x, ball dot y, ball dot radius times 2. All right, and then this is going to be then the power up dot x, power up dot y, power up dot width, and power up dot height. There we go. And then if they're greater than 0, we'll do this. That sound reasonable? We'll see if the bot, oh, and we got to cite our source, right? What was our prompt here? Oh goodness, we got 2 questions in a row. That's unfortunate. ChatGPT, Q2, where was that? And our Q1 was this one. By the way, there was a news article. Engineers at Samsung apparently have been feeding ChatGPT proprietary algorithms and meeting notes and things. And now Samsung's upset because that's part of the model. And you can get that information. I don't know how they figured out how they could get it back out, but someone was able to get it back out and got their proprietary chip testing notes and other things. So Samsung has since changed their policy on what their engineers are allowed to do with ChatGPT. So just right now, it's the worst they can get if you don't think it even has. But it's getting there. Yep. The someone is concerned. I don't know how true or not this is, but one of the training things that was used and why it's good at doing code is it was trained off of Stack Overflow and like looked for things that had good upvotes and whatever here. But now that chat are their private sessions, like Stack Overflow is public, so everyone could see the questions, everyone could see the answers. As things move to be private, there'll be no more training data. We're going to be stuck in time once people stop using Stack Overflow and start using ChatGPT or other tools or Bing AI or Bard or whatever tools are decent here, or proprietary internal ones. Like we lose the public body of knowledge and then there's no training data. I think the other problem with Stack Overflow I've noticed, some people just either delete their old posts for some reason, they'll leave them up, or they just have to start being. Some people are pretty toxic. Not everyone, but some people are toxic, which is unfortunate. But I feel like that's going to happen. Oh, come on. Didn't collide. How did it not collide? Why is it not colliding? Is this logic bad? I'm really bad at geometry. Yeah, that. Thank you. Yeah, he pointed out, you let me do this whole time, and you just, now you're telling me I'm using the ball instead of the paddle. This is player paddle dot x and player paddle dot y. And then player paddle, oh my goodness, this is player paddle dot width and player paddle.height. Paddle.height. Yeah, this whole thing. Okay, that would be why. We were just trying to see if the ball collided with things, not did something else collide with the player paddle. This whole logic was bad. All right, thank you. This might solve our problem. I'm feeling kind of confident here. Yeah, let's see. Chat probably could have told me that. Can we feed it our program and ask it to find bugs? I hear sometimes it can.
Like giving it bugs and things, asking what's wrong with it.
You can just like, or look at this code for vulnerabilities, sorts of things. But it's just fine for public things, or like if it's not proprietary information. But you don't really want to feed it proprietary code and ask it to review it, right?
I mean,
oh, come on! I screwed up the ball catch.
It works sometimes, but other times it's straight up just some like I was looking completely wrong.
Yep, it just makes it up, right? It's a pros machine. Really good at making stuff up. That sounds legit.
And again, there were times where it did actually sound like it worked. So.
We caught it! We caught the power up! I'm so excited. Did it make the paddle wider? I think it made the paddle wider. I wasn't watching. We gotta catch one more. Uh-oh. I don't think we're gonna be able to catch it and get the ball. No, too slow. We really need to like trigger that off the mouse movement. Because I'm not gonna get there in time. Nope. All right. This is no good.
You make the platform faster.
We can make them fall faster, maybe. Let's see. Oh, it's not going to work. Nope. All right, we can only catch the first one, apparently. This game is cruel. It just teases you.
Make it fall faster, or you can fall even.
Less than 1 pixel per turn. I can make the paddle move faster. That's probably my downside, is the paddle moves too slow. It got wider.
Okay.
It did. It did.
Just barely.
It was very exciting. And we should make the paddle move faster, right? Where's our paddle update? Let's do like +5. There we go. Now we can catch all the power-ups. 5x faster is going to be a lot faster, I think. We'll see. Binding to the mouse might be fun, but that doesn't really translate well for Xbox because there's no real mouse movement.
Imagine if you wanted to control the sensitivity, you'd have to change the source code every day.
Wow, now we're flying. This is much happier. We can catch more power-ups this way now. Hey, Professor Burp, thanks for dropping on by.
Now it just looks like the ball is moving slower.
Can speed it up a little bit. Oh, we're still not colliding right. We screwed that one up too. That is unfortunate.
Oh, even after it's done.
Yeah, we caught it. Now it says game over, or we missed it technically. Okay, I think we got to where we wanted to go. Right, so we have with power-ups, just for an idea, adding other things in, moving around the screen, interacting with them, removing them. This was fun. A lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Sorry, it was kind of boring. It's a lot of troubleshooting.
All right. That's really what it is. Just be trying different things.
Yeah. Yeah, or just go find the right collisions thing. So detecting collisions based on the direction, I think we could do if we were moving left, look for a collision and then flip that. Possibly no, because we might be moving up or down. I'm not sure how to solve the collision problem because we only want to bounce up and down or left and right, possibly. So I'm not sure. I don't know, but it works, I think, for us. So that was fun. We've got time to work with your group projects, and then next week we're going to meet in the game lab. So we got the Xboxes available. You can actually get in pods and not have these terrible desks here and work on those. Just work on the group project. Yep. So if your team's okay with not meeting that night or meeting somewhere else, that's perfectly fine with me. You don't have to be there. I'll be available to answer questions, walk around, and help troubleshoot stuff, and we can go from there. Yeah.
So when you originally started the project, when you really started the project, was on SAML?
This is so UWP, Windows Universal Platform, or the Universal Windows Platform, is XAML based.
So that's what that when you go on Visual Studio, to create a new project.
I did it. No, so it's a Universal Windows Platform. So you want Universal, blank app, Universal Windows.
Okay.
Yep.
It's all because uses example.
Yep.
Xbox.
Yep. Cool. All right. Thanks for heading online, folks. Oh, dad joke. You got it. Let me go grab one here. It has been a while. Let's see what I got here in my bag. And Professor Burp has a ton of points. All right. You should never trust an atom. You should never trust an atom because they make everything up.
They make it.
ATOM. That's a pretty good one, right? Yeah. All right. This one is not doesn't translate well to language in English. It's 3 unwritten rules of life. 1, 2, 3. Here are the unwritten rules of life. That was pretty good too. Hydration. There we go. Yep. Thank you. All right. Oh, I heard a good one. Who makes a living talking to themselves?
I don't know.
A ventriloquist.
Oh, that's
Like that was actually fine. I feel like
pretty good.
pretty good, right?
That's sort of the thing where it's like you want
Take
to
care,
get
everybody.
the same